Welcome to Beyond the Frame. Tonight, we are talking about things that nobody wants to talk about. We're talking about relationships, modern men, modern masculinity, vulnerability, just everything that, modern media wants to push one narrative for. And I've got a special guest who knows exactly what he's talking about with this. Introducing Terrell White. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is you do.
Okay. What's up, guys? My name is Terrell White. I go by TWhite 3.0 on Instagram, and I help men get lean, build muscle, and build confidence in 90 days or less. So if you guys are interested in that, the link will be in the bio.
And I want to say this, that he didn't say himself. On his Instagram, he even shows you how to get fit.
Oh, yeah.
So even if you aren't fully in the course and everything that he's doing, which I highly recommend it, because he's going to stay on your butt for it, but he'll show you the workouts to get yourself to where you want to be. But we're not talking about fitness yet. First, let's start with some icebreaker questions.
Okay.
Now, if your current dating profile was completely honest, not optimized, not the, oh, I'm just here for you type deal, completely honest, what would the bio say?
If I'm being honest, bro, in the time that I'm in right now, in the mind frame that I'm in right now, it would probably say something along the lines of, I am looking for fun or, sexual relations.
Something like that.
Not necessarily trying to be in a romantic relationship right now. I'm just being honest. Straight up. If and I know a lot of you guys will feel the same way. Y'all are just too scared to say it. But that's just me though, right now at least.
Well, I mean, what's funny is that if a guy says that, it's a problem. If a girl says that, she's got a line. She's got a line out the back. They're like, wait a second. Whoa. Right. What time are you free?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Half the guys would be waiting for her in the parking lot if she said that.
They'd already be calling her.
Let's test it out. A girl could be in Target or Walmart and have what's those speaker things? Have a speaker, a megaphone.
Yeah.
And say, hey guys, whoever wants to have sex with me, and don't let her be a 6 and above.
Yeah.
Don't let her be a 6 and above. She could just be a 6. She don't even got to be bad. She could be a 6.
5.
She could be a 5.
She could be a 4 even.
She could be a 4.
Going below 4?
Literally.
But like 4 or 5,
even that too. So she could be a 5 or a 4. It will be guys that will, hey. So were you serious about that? I'm free at this time. Let's do it. Wherever you're free. And it'll be a line.
It'd be a line.
I guarantee you'll be more than 20 people.
Yeah.
She'll catch 20 bodies that same day.
It's the same thing with that OnlyFans model that did the 1,000 guys in one day.
Oh my
You're
gosh.
telling me, hold on, wait. Let's understand this real quick. You're telling me, before even that, let me ask you a question. Can you imagine being the 1,000th guy? Can you imagine seeing that line all the way in front of you, knowing that every single one of them had their way with her and being like, I'm finna get it. You know what I mean?
See, that's the thing. I'm glad that you said that because most men would not care about being that 1,000th guy because they're so controlled by their lust. Literally. They don't care.
Just imagine it.
I'm not doing that. I don't even want to be first.
I wouldn't even be in line.
I wouldn't even be in line.
I'd be calling the cops. Hey, there's a psycho.
I wouldn't be doing that.
Kill these people,
Yeah, but honestly, it's like, no, I'm not. I respect myself too much. At least now I do, kind of a little bit. I still want to have fun though. I'm 22. I still want to have fun, but I'm not finna be a option for this. No, I'm not doing that. Be 1,000? No, absolutely not.
Okay. If you could add one mandatory question to every dating app profile out there and they could not lie about it, what would it be?
How many bodies do you have? Straight up. How many bodies do you have?
But would you do that for men and women? Oh, that's where it gets there.
I don't want to sound double standard, but I don't care if I'm being honest with you. So if I sound like a double standard, then oh well. But if I'm being real with you, a man having a certain type of body count and a woman having a certain type of body count is completely different. Let's just be honest.
Okay.
Let's just be honest, because the world will look at a man having a certain body count, and if it's high, they're going to respect that man. And I can tell you why. Think about it like this in this analogy. This might be kind of like weird, but just really hear me out. Just think about it. Would you care if a professional basketball player dunked on a special ed kid? You'd be like, why are you doing this? Why are you dunking on a special ed kid? You're not a good person, right? Mm-hmm. But if that special ed kid miraculously dunked on this professional basketball player,
oh, bro,
everybody would be crazy. Now, I'm not saying women are professional basketball players and men are special ed. What I am saying is the difficulty of one collecting a lot of bodies and the other one collecting a lot of bodies. Now, women can get bodies even if she's the ugliest creature thing in the world. She has options because what's in between her legs. A man can be 6 foot, Chad, handsome, all that shit. I mean, my bad, all those things, right? Here's the thing, though. It doesn't matter because those things matter. They do. Those dudes still have options. They have options, but it's just a little bit more harder because I'm not even saying women are just more selective. They just have more options. Mm-hmm. So by nature, they're more selective. It's not because they're better at picking. No, they're not. They just have more options because they're women in the value that the world holds on what's in between their legs.
You see, a good way that somebody said this in a video was the reason why throughout history, men who got more women were viewed as higher value and women who slept with more men were seen as low value.
Absolutely.
Was the challenge. And it's through everything in life. That's why do women see men with a lot of money as someone who's more important or a higher value? Because he worked to get that money. It's not easy to get money. So she saw that he put in a lot of energy, a lot of effort, and could accomplish something that he put his mind to.
Right.
Now, flip the roles. If a man wants to get a woman, he has to put in a lot of energy. He has to put in a lot of effort. He has to put his mind to it, which shows the woman, hey, there's a potential security with this guy.
Right.
Because if he put his mind to getting me, that means he could put his mind towards money, towards family, towards a household, towards building a home. And that's what they equate it to as a high value man. Now flip the roles to a woman. How hard is it for her to get a man? It's as simple as a DM. One text. You up? And just like that, boop, she's got a man.
And that's why, in my head, I said this to one of my friends back at home. And I told them, hey, man, if you really think about it, if a man has a lot of bodies, there must be something special about that man. Mm-hmm. If you really think about it,
he had to do something
for an influx of women to be attracted to him and think, you know what, let me give my body to this man. Now, whether that's him being a handsome dude, whether that's him having a lot of money, whether that's him having a lot of status, or all three, either way, he had to work for something and build himself up for a lot of women, even if they're average, for just women in general to view him as an option that is respectable enough in their mind to have sex with. Now, a woman can be from the slums of Mumbai. Literally, let's be real. And she can have a guy from America fly her out, or just any guy in general have sex with her because of what's in between her legs, because of what the world has put on a pedestal.
And we'll talk about that in a second once we get talking about modern dating.
Okay.
Because there's a special segment I have that ties into that. But we'll get into that in just a second.
Okay.
But tying into what we were saying about the options, I'm playing the game. It's the field. Be honest. Who is worse at dating in 2026? Men or women, and why?
I would say women. I would say women. And I'm just being honest. You can't tell me it's not women when they have a lot more options than men in majority of cases, and what they do with those options and how bad they
usually are
with those options. And I mean, if I give you an example, you'll understand. So for instance, there will be a girl in her early 20s, right? And she'll have a guy that is willing to court her the right way, treat her special, buy her flowers, be a good man to her.
A lover boy.
A lover boy,
Or
like
a simp by nowadays standards.
Exactly. Or a guy that is a good person, right? But then we'll have another guy in the shadows, right? Another guy that will not even, she's not even an option. She's really like 4th, 5th, 6th in the rotation.
Yeah, she's down
She's down on the list. He's dealing with women that look better, right? This guy shows traits of narcissism. He's a psychopath, Machiavellism, right? He's all about himself. He only cares about himself. He only cares about his purpose, right? And I don't think that guy's bad, but you're just not a priority. While this other guy is a priority. And this guy, you'll let this guy hit. You'll let this guy have his way with you. Not only just hit, because that's not even the important part. He's having his way with you. He's doing everything to you. He can, hey, I'm gonna text her just because I'm bored, just to hit, let me just see what she up to.
Yeah.
The other girls ain't come through. Let me see what she up to. Mind you, meanwhile, this other guy is hoping, praying in the friend zone. Oh my gosh, why can't she just see that I'm the man for her?
I'm giving her flowers.
I'm giving her
sending
everything.
her money. I'm paying her bills. And she's still getting with this guy, this Chad from Dubai that's flying her out once a month.
And I'm glad you said Chad. You know why I said that they're bad at their options and bad at who they're picking? Because they're going by their physical. A lot of times. Sometimes they go by money and status and stuff like that. Well, a lot of times they do. But the younger they are, the more they'll go for like physical, the looks, right? So when you have things like looks maxing nowadays and clavicular, the black pill, right? These things, and so many men are like attracted to that because they're seeing, and we all have seen it, like, man, the guy that is this certain height gets women. The guy that has this type of body type gets women. Sign up for my online coaching. But who have this certain type of body gets women. Who has this jawline or this type of hairstyle, whatever, gets women. We've all seen these things, but then we'll cope and say, oh, well, it's swag. Or, oh, it's the way, the mouthpiece, the way he talks.
We'll hear it straight from the women themselves.
Yeah.
They're talking about, I don't need no man who's below 6 feet tall, who's making less than 6 figures, and blah, blah, blah. They're giving this entire list while in the meantime, they look like Humpty Dumpty.
They look worse than that. Actually, they look like Rasputia, bro. They look really bad. And I'm not trying to bring women down when I say that. I'm just being honest. And honesty is the best policy, bro. So when I see women that are demanding these type of things from men and they don't resemble those traits that a man of that value would want, it's kind of like, whoa. So you mean to tell me I'm supposed to work this hard in my life
to get
just to get you? So I'm grinding my whole life. I'm making all this money. I'm building my physique, doing all of these things to come home to a fat woman? Have you lost your mind? I'm not even fat phobic. Please don't think I'm fat phobic. I'm just being honest. I mean, let's keep it real. I mean, no, I'm not doing that. And I'm pretty sure 99% of men don't want that in their house. They don't want a woman like that. If they were to have it their way.
Yeah, if they had it their way.
If they had it their way, they wouldn't want it like that.
Well, you even see that with the women. Like, they're always talking about fat acceptance, fat shaming, all these other things. They're like, I can't help this. It's just my body, blah, blah, blah. But then they'll go for the guys with the 6-pack who's 6'2", and then they're like, well, you can choose that. No, I can't choose my height.
Right. You can't.
But I could choose my body.
Right.
Shout out for his coaching. No, stop. But I could choose my body, yeah.
Right.
I could choose my power, my fame, my influence. But I can't choose my height. What you can choose is going to the gym. What you can choose is not eating that dairy bar that you've been looking at. What you can choose is getting off your butt off the couch and going for a run instead of binge watching Netflix and Grey's Anatomy.
Right.
You can choose that. So flipping the role, flipping the model, a lot of these women that are saying that, you know, I can't believe this guy didn't pick me because of my body weight, also wouldn't pick a guy because of his height. Or wouldn't pick a guy because he's 2% higher body fat than she would like, or that he doesn't have enough money that she would like.
Exactly.
So whenever you flip it, it's a double standard.
It's a double standard.
And that's also on both sides.
That's why I don't care about my double standard about the body count thing, because women have their body standards, double standards. I have mine. And by any means, I do not hate women. I love women completely. to the core, I love them, but there's just some things that they do that can really mess up a man's psyche. And if a man doesn't know some of the things that they can do and will do, it can really mess up a man's life, honestly, if they pick the wrong woman.
Yeah.
And same for women. If they pick the wrong man, it can really mess up their life, but that's just me,
Well, I believe that's a pretty good intro to the start of this episode. So let's get into a little bit of a deeper question.
Okay.
Now, in 2026, we've seen a lot of different things from the media, from news, from celebrities, from influencers, telling men how they should be, telling men to not be toxic, to not be overtly masculine. So I want to ask you this as a fitness guy, which is seen as a pretty masculine guy.
Right.
What does it actually mean to be a masculine man in 2026? Is it protection, provision, leadership, or has the very definition of masculinity become toxic?
I think the world wants to shame men for being who we're truly called and meant to be. So they think anything that is remotely masculine is toxic. So all of those things you just said, leadership, provision, finances, whatever, prioritizing yourself, right? They're going to view that as toxic. Or a man just being a man in general, just, no, I'm not going to put up with this type of woman. Or no, I'm not going to put up with this type of person in my life. A man putting himself first, to me, that's masculinity. You know what I'm saying?
So by saying putting himself first, like my view on it, masculinity is having the means and having the force necessary to protect those you love and to protect yourself. Now, that could be through intelligence, through enacting a plan. That could be through physicality, through being physically and mentally powerful, through the gym, through having actual expertise in fighting, but being able to protect and provide for the family, for your friends, being the one that they can count on. That's my true definition of masculinity, is being the one that whenever you're in your final moments at your deathbed, people could say, he was a real one. Right. He was always there for me.
Right.
He always stood behind what he said. His family loved him to death. He never stepped out of the line, really, but he always got stuff done.
Right.
That's my definition of masculinity. But even that is seen as toxic, is having the leadership, having the know-how of how to do things, and then teaching your woman of how to be in this relationship. Because, like it or not, you have to teach each other in a relationship of how to treat each other, how to be in this relationship, how to have a family, how to have a home. So whenever you look into these things that they're deeming as toxic, what they're deeming as toxic is long-term relationship builders. But funnily enough, whenever you see a man who's wanting short-term relationships,
right,
who just wants to have sex and things like that, they're also calling that toxic. So now men are in this power struggle of, well, I want to have a wife and kids one day, but that's toxic because to have that, I need to lead and protect and provide for this family and to make sure that they're secure. But at the same time, if I try and have short-term relationships, now that's also toxic, and now I'm seen as a playboy.
So let me ask you this. Where do men win then?
They don't.
Why is that though? Like that's my take. Like when I was hearing you saying all of these things, and it's like the guy who wants to protect his family, protect himself, protect the people that he loves, provide for his people is considered toxic. But the guy that wants to have sex and have selfish needs for himself, for his own pleasures, is considered toxic. Where does a man become a noble man? When is masculinity seen as something that is it's a plus to the world instead of something that brings the world down? Or
with modern media and the way that this world is going, masculinity in itself, it's just there's no need for it, is what they're pushing. So what do I mean by that? You take every single meaning of the term, whether that be protection, provision, leadership, accountability, responsibility. They want weak men who follow the lead of a woman who does whatever she says and conforms to whatever ideas and narratives that they push. Because guess what? The people at the very top, that makes it very easy to control. Because if you have a bunch of really weak men who can't stand up for themselves, who don't know how to stand up for themselves, and are just leading by whatever the women say by example, who is the first gender that people in wartime go to influence the rest of the war? The women and children.
Exactly.
They influence the women and children, and they tell them, we even saw it in COVID.
Mm-hmm. They
play to the emotions. They say, your grandma's going to die if you don't wear a mask, so you have to wear this mask. And guess who's telling the husbands, I don't want my mom to die. I don't want her to die. We have to wear this mask. Who influences the man who is strong-willed, who is strong-minded, who is physically strong, mentally strong? You know you're not getting infected by that. So you're sitting here debating back with her. You're like, listen, we'll be fine. This is how we're going to do this. We're going to make sure we eat healthy. We do things good. We make sure that our bodies are fit. We make sure that our minds are fit so that they can't sway us to think of this narrative. But then the women are going, but they said my mom will die. All of a sudden, you start seeing this family dynamic get split apart. And what does the government incentivize? Single mother households.
Exactly.
They incentivize for the man to not even be in the equation. How many times have you heard celebrities or influencers say, I don't need a man? They're teaching that to our young generations. They're teaching that to our daughters. Our daughters. They're telling our daughters, you don't need your dad. Why would you? You're a strong, independent woman. So is that why the suicide rates for women went up by 70% whenever we started that narrative? Why do you think women are so unhappy? Who do you think is the happiest women in the world? The ones where men have complete control. And that's not a biased statement. That is a fact. The women that are the happiest in the world have a man that's the leader of the household. And you see that in modern dating too. The man's the leader of the household, tells him what to do, how to do it, how to do everything. But it's up to the woman to make that a home, not just a house. That's where their specialty is. It's nurturing, providing for the kids, making something that's at the core roots of it into a foundation and an actual home for the man to come home to. But whenever you have the media and the influencers and the celebrities and the school system telling you, you don't need a man. In fact, men are terrible. That just brought me to another topic. Let me ask you this. Out of all the women you know, and from personal history, the first thing that your dad usually teaches you whenever you start to come of age is how to treat a woman. Get her flowers, open her car door, hold her hand out in public because she likes that. Doing all these things, how to treat her on a first date, how to treat her family, everything like that. What's the first thing that we teach our daughters? Don't trust no man. He's only going to use you. He's only there for your body. Don't trust that man. You don't need a man right now. What that is weak-willed fathers and the media and narratives. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a part that's true to that because whenever you have weak men, you also have men who can't control their urges, like lust. So, whenever we start talking about lust, that's where fathers and moms teach their daughters, you can't trust a man because he just wants you for your body. He just wants to use you because guess what? We have a weak society. Men who can't control those urges. Men who can't go 5 seconds without scrolling through OnlyFans. Men who are looking on Instagram and being like, oh my God, this girl is banging. Let me see if she's got an OnlyFans. We've got men who can't control their urges, which is why we see so many rapes happening. We see so many assaults happening. But we also see a lot of men that have no sex because they can't control their urges, but they've been taught their entire life, keep it in your pants, kid.
Can I say something about the lust thing, bro? So here's the thing about lust. When guys watch stuff like porn, corn, right? Corn, right? Or when guys do things like OnlyFans. Let me ask the men that's watching this right now. After you do that, do you feel better about yourself? Be honest. Do you really feel better about what you just did? Masturbating and playing with your pee-pee to another man having sex with the woman you want to have sex with. I really want you to really think about this. Did you just accomplish and conquer anything in that moment? Or do you feel like a cuck? Because you literally are. I'm not saying this is your girl. This is not, your girl or anything, but you're a cuck. You're watching another man have fun doing the thing that you want to do. You watching this right now. Yes. You just watched another man have sex with a woman that you want to have sex with. But because you don't want to build your life up and become the man that those women chase, you want to sit and watch other men have their way in this life. Man, you a spectator, bro. I don't like men that are just driven by lust. And believe me, I was one of those guys at one point. I'm 22, bro. And I'm talking about just last year, I was controlled by lust. Real deal. Dealing with certain women that, I probably shouldn't have been dealing with.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Right. Now, there are some women in my life that I've dealt with that were amazing. I love them. They're beautiful. More power to them.
He's saying this because he misses you.
But there are other women that I've dealt with. I'm like, I wake up next morning, damn, she's popped. Like, she's ugly.
Yeah.
What am I doing? Now, of course, I done dealt with some baddies. Of course, look at me. But but when you're controlled by lust, you're not thinking with your head. You're not thinking. You're literally controlled by a spirit. Honestly, I think lust is a spirit. So when you have guys that watch porn all day, that don't have nothing to do but just watch porn, and then they get, I know you guys been on Pornhub and they have the federal statement of this is illegal in your. Don't ask me how I know. Do not ask me how I know.
Upload your ID.
You have to upload your ID.
Yeah.
And you guys should be thanking the Lord that is set in place for you so you can start your semen retention journey. Now, probably more than half of you guys just probably went on another site to watch it. Let's be real.
You're on Twitter. You're on Reddit.
They just said, okay, Pornhub not working, so let me go on.
Rain leaks. What I mean? Let
me go on Twitter. Let me watch Mariah Mills. Right? Let me do this. Let me do that. On xnxx.com, whatever, right? This is what you guys have done. I know you guys did that. Don't lie to me. I know you did that. They went on another site. Think about how down bad you have to be to have something set in place for you to not watch by the government. And they just go on another site and watch it anyway. Matter of fact, they're even more down bad guys. You know what they do? Let me tell you what they do.
Oh, God. Yeah.
They go on something called OnlyFans and they pay a woman's life and indulge in masturbation. And they bust gallons of sperm on themselves watching another man bust
gallons.
Yeah. They bust gallons of sperm on themselves to watch another man bust gallons of sperm on her. Think about that. They're busting gallons of nut on themselves. On themselves. Don't even clean it up. And watch another man. Come on, bro. And to watch another man bust his nut.
And they're paying for it.
They're paying for it. This is cuckery. Cuckery 101. This is how you become a man who has a wife and you want her to smash another man. That's you. You're losing right now. You're losing. Now, you can obviously become better and just, lust is a journey, bro. Lust is, let's be real. Lust is a journey.
Especially as a young man.
Especially as a young man, bro. Oh, my gosh. It's so hard.
The first time, especially like our generation, we had a weird generation.
Oh, my God.
Like, we started off with, like, if you wanted to watch something that was explicit,
Yeah.
you were going on your grandma's PC. You were looking it up. Your grandma in the back. You're like, where's she at? Hold on. Who is this? I heard about this girl from my friends.
Yeah.
And then whenever you got to like high school, now you got it on your phone.
It's so accessible.
Now you've got it, and you're just like, dude, I can see whatever I want.
Literally.
In whatever genre I want, and whatever fetish I have, with whatever race I want. Anytime.
Yeah.
And so now you're looking through all this, and you're like, man, this this girl from my high school, she cute and all, but
it's like,
she ain't Megan Fox.
She's not Megan Fox.
You know what I mean? She's not Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Why would I want her?
She's not Sydney Sweeney, right?
Yeah. She's not Sydney Sweeney with makeup.
Oh,
with
man.
makeup, not without makeup.
Have y'all
seen?
Have y'all seen Sydney Sweeney with no makeup?
Oh.
Guys, I want y'all to take a second and just go on your phone and look up Sydney Sweeney, no makeup. Now, I'm sure she's a great person. I don't know anything about her, but oh my God, that is a completely different person. And you guys will probably still hit, so this doesn't really matter. But just look up Sydney Sweeney, no makeup, and you're probably going to be like, wow, this is a completely different person. Because it literally is.
It literally is.
It literally is, bro.
So, talking about masculinity, one of the key figures in masculinity right now is Jordan Peterson. We were actually just talking about him.
Okay.
I've got a quote from him, from his book, The 12 Rules of Life. Now, I want you to listen to this, and the viewers out there, I want you to listen to this as well. And I really want you to think about this quote. Here I go. The masculine spirit is under assault. Masculinity is not a pathology. It is a necessary force. The strong and competent rise to the forefront of life and bear its burdens. They face dragons voluntarily. They voluntarily confront chaos. They take responsibility. They voluntarily shoulder a load. They pick up the heavy weight. They do it because it is necessary. They do it because they want to. They do it because they are men. But the world has decided that this very thing, this voluntary assumption of responsibility, is toxic. It is oppressive. It is patriarchal. And so the masculine spirit is shamed, suppressed, and pathologized. Yet without it, civilization crumbles. We were just talking about this, about lust, about weak men in a weak generation. And forgive me if I say this wrong, but one of the most prevalent quotes we've seen nowadays is, weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men.
That's my favorite quote.
Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And right now, we are weak men in hard times.
Oh my. Yeah.
And we need men to rise up to become strong men, to take responsibility, to take accountability. Before you answer, I want to go on a little bit of a rant, a little idea, something that I wrote out before this. Men naturally have a desire to accomplish something, whether that be in a relationship, business, or even on video games. When you take away the purpose and feeling of accomplishment within relationships, within business, and even within the household, you are essentially taking away a man's very meaning in life. Men that want to stay inside and play games all day. Men that do not want to strive to have a long-term relationship and instead chase desires rather than results and accomplishments. Whenever you have those men, you really have to ask yourself, what does this do to benefit our futures? What does this have to do to benefit our society? And with that in mind, in a world where women can out-earn men and don't need, quote-unquote, need providers anymore, what do you think is the new role of masculinity in the relationship?
That was a good one. That was a good one. I think a lot of men are in this ambiguous state of mind when it comes to what their role is in masculinity in a relationship. You know, I'm always very traditional, but in today's time, what the new masculine role is in relationships, I don't know, bro. In all honesty, I mean, like, you have one group telling you we don't need you. You have another group of men saying that, pandering, you know, saying that, oh my God, women are queen.
all hell women, yeah.
And like I said earlier, I love women. I have no hatred towards them. But there are men that do that too. You know, then you have other people that are just gave up. Just, you know what, I'm done with society. So a lot of men are just like, you know, what's the point of me even wanting a relationship anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, if my masculinity and my purpose in this world is just, nobody cares about it. You know, women don't care about it. Other men don't care about it. Why should I care about it? Why should I participate in this?
And that's why we see such a huge rise through the red pill community, especially with young men.
Can I talk about the red pill?
Go ahead. Yeah, let's talk about it.
Look, man. So the red pill, I wouldn't consider myself red pill, but I agree with a lot of the things they say. And I think a lot of women hate the red pill because they think it's bashing them. And I'm always a firm believer in this right here. Bringing up men is never tearing down women. Ever. Just like bringing up women is never tearing down men. Now, what makes the red pill corny sometimes is them expressing their hatred for women. You can't hate women. A man should never hate women. You know, even if a woman hates men, which a lot of women do, a man should not hate women. It's really emotional, and you're not gonna gain anything from this life. You can't hate them.
Exactly.
I think that's what makes the red pill a little corny. But I do agree with a lot of things they say. Now, there's red pill content creators that are not expressing hatred and are not, I guess, showing hurt, or they're hurt. And I don't even agree with that, honestly, because let me say this. A man's experiences with dating doesn't mean he's a hurt guy. Why are we saying that, okay, because this guy has been hurt or been done wrong, he's expressing hurtness, or he's just hurt, he's corny, blah, 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 blah. I mean, this is his experience. This was his experience.
How are you going to tell him what his experience was? Yeah.
That's what I don't like. So you have content creators like Steph is Cold who will tell you, hey, bro, this is what I went through. I've gone through this. I'm trying to teach you to not go through the same thing, but then they're calling him a hurt. You know, he's a hurt guy. He hates women. He hates his mom. That's the favorite one. He hates his mom.
Nah.
How do I hate my mother? First of all,
she birthed me.
She birthed me. But I think a lot of men mess up and they try to find their mother in their lover. You should never do that. No woman is going to love you more than your mom. You know, unconditionally. Yeah. No, I don't think women can really love you unconditionally. Now, that's just me. I could be very wrong, but in my opinion, I don't know if they really can love you unconditionally, except your mom and sisters and things like that.
Well, the way I look at it is this, right? Some of the key things that the red pill community talk about applies directly to men too. So like you said, loving somebody unconditionally, that's not just a woman thing, that's a man thing too.
Exactly.
Because what's funny is that they will bring out the discrepancies amongst men, talking about how guys didn't date this girl because she was too fat, or didn't like this girl because she was too independent and too strong-willed. Well, then you flip the roles, and this girl didn't like this guy because he was too fat, and this girl didn't like this guy because he was egotistical or prideful or misogynist, blah, 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 whatever all the trigger words are nowadays. But it's the same thing on both sides, because there really is no such thing as an unconditional loving relationship outside of family. Because there is no, there's gonna be something they do that you would automatically be like, all right, I don't love you anymore.
Right.
Whether that be they gained too much weight, whether that be they said the wrong thing, did the wrong thing, they could have killed your parents. You don't know. You won't unconditionally love them. Yeah. And chasing that dream of unconditional love is a fantasy.
So you think it doesn't exist?
No, it doesn't exist. Realistically and logically, it doesn't exist.
I don't think it really exists.
There's no such thing as unconditional love except outside of the immediate family of maybe mother, father, and brothers, and even then, that's rare. Even then, that's rare.
Yeah.
So whenever a lot of these women are chasing unconditional love,
it's a fairy tale.
It's a fairy tale.
Literally, yeah.
It's a fairy tale to think that I'm going to be dating this guy who's 6'3", who's got 7 figures in the bank, who's flying us all over and taking us on expensive dates in Dubai. But he's got that one thing. He's got that one thing I don't like about him. Maybe it's that he just never cuts his toenails. Maybe it's that his hair's too long. Maybe his breath stinks. There's that one thing, and they're like, you know what? Why do I have to deal with this one thing? There's somebody better out there. Let me just go back on Twitter. We'll go through Tinder. Let's swipe left, swipe left, swipe. Oh, Chad from Ohio.
Yeah.
He looks pretty promising.
Yeah.
And then they swipe right, and guess what? They get played with.
They get played with, toyed with.
Because what they want is the highest standard with the lowest responsibility.
Exactly.
And so whenever you have that in modern dating, especially with social media, with dating apps, with how accessible everybody is all the time, it makes you really stop and say, like, what's the point? What's the point? I could date this girl 4 years, and she's going to turn around and say, I found someone better.
And leave you. And leave you.
You didn't treat me right. You didn't make enough. You weren't tall enough. You didn't have the right physique. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. And that's whenever the red pill really starts coming into the young men because they experience their first heartbreak. A lot of people who are in the red pill community are just young men who just got their heart broken. But they need that. They need that heartbreak.
Oh, yeah.
Because after that, that's what molds you.
Oh, yeah.
That's what shapes your future. Because that's whenever you start realizing, okay, maybe I shouldn't play video games all day.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't be watching anime all day. Maybe I shouldn't. Like, you know what I mean?
Let me say this, bro. Heartbreak might be the best thing that can ever happen to a man.
Oh, 100%.
And the reason why I say that is because that thing right there, that pain that's in your heart, you know, at 3 a.m. when you're thinking about her or who she's with or who she's dealing with or she's outside with her friends and they going to clubs and who they hanging out with, that right there will wake you up.
Yes.
That will make you turn into a monster. And I'm not saying dealing with a bunch of women. I'm not saying that. But it will make you want to become the best version of yourself. Literally, I can't even explain it, bro. That can make you do some things that you've never thought you can even do. Like literally.
One of my favorite talks that I ever had with my dad and actually with my papa. My papa, before he passed away, he said one of the things he was most grateful to God for was the hardships he had to face for the man he was soon to become. Now, what does he mean by that? Basically, he thanked God every single day for the experiences he was able to have whenever, even in the moment, he was like, why, God? Why did you do this to me? Why did my car break down whenever I had this job interview? Why did this girl turn around and cheat on me with this other guy whenever I gave all of myself to her? Why did this happen? This is just messed up. This is terrible, blah, blah, blah. But then he grew. He learned. He gained experience. He gained knowledge. He got better. And then after that, he was like, oh, thank God that happened. Because that girl cheated on the guy she cheated on me with. That job I was going to, that was just a cruel corporate environment. This thing that I was going to go do, it just turned out terrible. Thank God that happened, because otherwise I could be in that situation. But I learned from that. I evolved. I grew. Now, even if I was put in that situation, I know how to get out of it. I know how to look for it. So I don't even put myself in that situation to begin with. And that's where a lot of men nowadays share the mindset of wanting to chase comfort. And that's what I mean by weak men. Strong men chase discomfort. Strong men realize that the discomfort they face today means the pleasantries and the pleasure you get at a later time.
Absolutely.
So, that brings me to a quote from David Deida from The Way of the Superior Man. Now, this was back in 1997 that he wrote this. A man's highest purpose is his priority, not his intimacy. If a man is truly living his deepest purpose, his woman will feel it in his presence. She will feel his direction, his clarity, his unshakable commitment to something larger than the relationship itself. She does not need him to provide materially. She can do that. She needs him to provide direction, to lead her into deeper realms of love, openness, and surrender. Without that masculine core of purpose, a man becomes directionless, and his woman feels it as a loss of polarity. And we'll talk about that in a second. She may love him, but she will not open fully to him. The new masculine role is not provider of things, but provider of depth, presence, and fearless direction in the face of uncertainty. I'm going to go on a little tangent, but I want to hear what you have to say about it.
Okay.
In modern times, many men equate purpose to power, provision to material possessions, and love to comfort. However, after researching some of the healthiest relationships, it seems that what women are truly looking for in men is purpose being a goal bigger than themselves, provision to be mental and physical security, and love to be loyalty and a deep commitment to one another. With the red pill saying that to be truly masculine, nowadays you have to have money, power, fame, influence, and an abundance of dating options. A lot of young men have started disregarding the true influential factors of a relationship, which is loyalty, commitment, true provision of mental and physical security, and a desire for a deeper understanding of each other. Now, based off of just modern day, based off of that quote, how do you believe you would see yourself in modern dating once you finally decide, okay, this is my time to just find me a wife? I want a wife. How would you be as a man in that relationship?
I know the type of man that I am, and when I do find a woman, the type of man I will be is a man that is going to be certain in himself
Hmm.
and certain in things when things are not right, or when
Mm-hmm.
adversity hits, or when times are hard. I'm going to be the type of guy that shows my wife, like, hey, things are going to be okay. We will get through this.
Mm-hmm.
You need to trust me and believe in me, because that's all I need from you right now. All I need from you is to believe me and to just be there for me.
Hmm.
I got this. I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm capable of. I've always been a natural born leader. Like, straight up, always been a natural born leader, bro. And I know I've been through certain things in my life to where it's like, if I can make it out of this,
Mm-hmm.
I know I can handle majority of the things that could come my way.
Mm.
Seriously. You know, I've dealt with pain and heartbreak, stuff like that. You know, uncertainty, the unknown, you know. I've dealt with all of those things. I deal with certain things right now, literally. So I know in a relationship, I know what I've been through and what I've gotten myself out of. It's nothing for me to just be like, you know what, sit tight. I got this.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm capable of. So I'm gonna be the type of man that shows calmness, you know, stoic. I'm gonna be very stoic in my relationship, because
Mm-hmm.
if the leader of the boat is panicking,
Then everybody's
everybody's
panicking.
gonna
Uh-huh.
panic. My main goal is to let them know I got this. Even if deep down in my heart, I really don't know what's gonna happen. I
Mm.
can't let them see that. I can't let
Okay.
them see that. Yeah.
So, with that in mind,
Mm-hmm.
think about the very end. It's your last day.
Mm-hmm.
The room is quiet except for the stories that people are telling about you. Some are laughing through the tears, and some are just sitting there remembering. In that moment, what do you want them saying? That you had the most matches, the most nights, the most attention anybody could ever dream of? Or that you were the husband that stayed when things got rough? You were the father whose kids still reach for you when they're lost. The man whose name makes people pause and say, he was real. He showed up. When it's all over, which version of your life would let you close your eyes in peace? And which one would leave you wondering if the chase was ever worth it?
Definitely the second one. the uh Me on my deathbed right now, and looking at all my loved ones and all the people that love me and have been with me throughout my life.
Hmm.
I want them to genuinely say Terrell White was a man of purpose, was a man that was there when things were hard, took care, and handled all the hard things that came our way.
Mm-hmm.
He withstood all the hardship. He handled everything with stoicism, didn't panic, even when things were really rough. And in my life, I want to make things as simple and easy as possible for the people that I love. And I'm not only talking about financially, I'm talking about just in general, just making a better lifestyle for all the people that I love and care about. But that doesn't stop hard things from coming. Hard things are still going to come. So I want people to understand, like, okay, he made things happen even when things didn't seem like they were going to go our way.
Mm-hmm.
Even when times were really rough, Terrell made things happen. I want to be remembered as that guy, as that man for my family, the most important people in my life, you know, my future family that I'll create, you know. Now, me getting the most matches and stuff, I'm not even on dating apps, but I don't need dating apps, real talk.
Mm-hmm.
But the most matches and things like that, that doesn't matter if you really think hindsight. Those things don't matter. It's fun. It's cool. You know, man, Terrell got a lot of girls, man. Or man, he was the man back in the day, man. That's cool. But think about how many men that were the man back in the day. That is nothing now.
Nothing.
They have nothing to show for in their life. That is sickening. That's sad. And I've made a decision in my life, and I've understood this. You know what's worse than death to me? Is living a average, mediocre life and not being the man God wants me to be at my highest version, at the highest frequency. That's worse than death to me.
Mm-hmm.
Death, I mean, yeah, if I died tomorrow, my family would be crying. The people that care about me, my friends and people that, were in my life, they would be sad and all type of things, right? They would be crying. I'm at peace. When you're dead, you're at peace. I'm with God, right? I'm in a constant state of peace. But when you're in a life and you're living this life with no purpose, nothing to show for, wasted potential, no ambitiousness, that is worse than death to me, because you've let down not only your parents, your family, your wife, your kids, but yourself and God. Because God put a purpose in your life and you didn't even try to see what that purpose was. You did not fulfill it. That would bring tears to any man's life on their deathbed. Like I was worried about chasing women when I should have been worried about my future, about what my purpose and my calling was. I was worried about what my ex was doing, instead of finding out what my purpose was. I was worried about FOMO, fear of missing out, the parties, the this, the that, the drinking, I was worried about that instead of finding my purpose. That would make any man very sad and wish he could do it all over again. But it's crazy, and we all know this, you can't. You can't do none of this all over again. You're only 21 once. You're only 22 once. You're only 23 once. You're only 57 once. You're only in this life once. So that's what I want to be remembered as a man that took his life serious, that provided for the people that he loves, and for the family that I will create, and for the wife that I will be with. I want them to remember me as that.
So, if that is how you want to be remembered, take everything that you just said, and I want you to think about it like this. Imagine the 16-year-old you as the audience. Imagine you're going back in time to talk to the 16-year-old you. If you only had 30 seconds to give 16-year-old you advice, what would it be?
Find your purpose and find it fast. And work non-stop for that purpose to come true. and for that dream to come true in your life. Get close to God. Get in the best shape of your life. Do not worry about women because they will come. I swear to God, they will come. I promise you, they will be there. I think that's the main thing I would say to 16-year-old me and 16-year-old every other male. Because they're lost, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And they're lost from, media, social media, sex, lust, right?
Lust, greed, sloth, everything.
Sloth,
laziness, lack of accountability,
right?
lack of responsibility.
Exactly.
Not wanting to chase a purpose that there should be set on, but instead their eyes drift and they see the woman in the red dress. Instead, they're drifting away and they're just wasting their life scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through social media. What's the newest thing? What just happened?
Mm-hmm. And women are not bad people for you being attracted to them. That's not their fault. But I want you to understand, while you're chasing her, she's chasing the man on his purpose. I'm telling you right now, that is how it is. There's a hierarchy. There's a cycle. You're chasing her. She's chasing the guy that is on his purpose. The guy on his purpose is chasing his purpose. He's chasing God. He's chasing him. He's putting himself first. I've never met a man that had an abundance of women. And I want to see your take on this. I've never met a man that had an abundance of women that put women first.
No.
That doesn't even make sense. Even if there's some guys that you might think put women first. And what do I mean by put women first? I'm saying things like, okay, well, let me go meet up with this girl instead of go to the gym. Let me go meet up with this girl and eat some BS, eat some goofy stuff. I can't cuss, but eat some goofy things, right? Like McDonald's. Because, women love to live in leisure. They want to eat ice cream with you and watch Euphoria. They want to eat popcorn and eat chips and make Rotel and stuff like that. They're not bad people for that. It's just women live in leisure. They love comfort. You as a man need to put yourself first and understand, if you get fat, she gone. If you get broke, she's gone. If you're a sloth, any hint of laziness, she's gone. Because if you chase her, you will not only lose her, but you will lose your purpose and your dream and your aspirations and your goals. All of those things are gone. She's gone too. She's long gone. But the things that really mattered are gone too.
So, to end this episode, I want to do one last quote. And I believe this gives the best measure up of what modern dating is like right now.
Mm-hmm.
We cultivate love when we allow our most powerful selves to be deeply seen and known, and when we honor the spiritual connection that grows from that offering with trust, respect, kindness, and affection. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is our most accurate measure of courage. The problem is when we confuse vulnerability with fragility. When we use "I'm just being myself" as a shield to avoid growth, accountability, or change. Real vulnerability invites transformation. It says, "Here I am, flaws and all. Help me become better." The counterfeit version of society says, "Here I am, flaws and all. Accept me exactly as I am and don't ask me to evolve or change." One builds intimacy. The other builds walls. I'd like to end it off with that quote. That's Beyond the Frame. We didn't come here for easy answers. We came here to talk about the topics that actually change lives. If this impacted you at all, feel free to drop a comment or send us a DM. We read every single one. If you want to see the uncut version of this, unedited, and the little intro we did beforehand,
For sure.
check us out on Patreon. The link is in the bio. Next week, we're going even deeper into more complex and just weirder dilemmas that we're facing nowadays. Until then, be dangerous in the right way. Stay masculine, stay honest, and we'll see you beyond the frame.